was never a son of Horus. I was and remain a lunar wolf, a proud son of Cophonia, a loyal servant of the Emperor, beloved by all. I am your enemy. Of all the loyal sons of the Emperor of mankind, there are arguably none as crucial to the brief hope of salvation than Garvior Loken, captain of the 10th Company of the Lunar Wolves. Betrayed by brethren and Primarch alike, Loken demonstrated the peerless resolve in an Astartes, one capable of enduring the deceptions of foul gods and their influence for the sake of the almighty Emperor of mankind and his Imperium. A warrior of supreme cool-headed temperament and martial skill, these qualities would lead to his induction into the Mournival to serve alongside Captain Tarik Torgadan, Little Horus Aximand, and 1st Company Captain Ezekiel Abaddon. The elite war council of Horus Lupercal comprised of his legion's finest captains, lending their advisements to the War Master in times of greatest strategic need and crisis. Garvior Loken would go on to make great strides for the compliance of worlds under the 16th Legion during the Great Crusade, until their warring on the planet of 6319. For it was here that the malignant taint of the warp was to begin its corruption of the legions. Through the intervention of a demon known as Samus, Lunar Wolf Sergeant Xavier Jubal would become possessed of his will and transformed into an abomination. Through battle with Loken, Xavier would be slain, but not without a seed of doubt being planted into the mind of Garvior Loken, that the Imperial truth, the principles of a rational, materialistic universe, could be misguided, if not deceiving, in nature. Confronting his Primarch, Horus, Garvior would recount his battle with the demon planetside, only for the War Master to cast aside his pronouncements, stating the powers of the warp to be no more of a threat to humanity than a mere force of superstitions and illusions. The Lunar Wolves would next battle on the planet of Murder against the savage Megarachnids, reinforcing the 3rd Legion of Astartes, the Emperor's Children. Therein, Garviel and his battle brother Tarik would befriend the Emperor's Children captain of the 10th Company, Saul Tarvitz, a man who would also become crucial to the warning of the fragmentation of the Emperor's legions and the oncoming betrayal. The culmination of the war would lead to battle with another species of human, the Interrex, due to the deceptions of word-bearer chaplain Erebus. And with the planet of Murder under compliance with the Imperium, the Lunar Wolves would be renamed as the Sons of Horus. Soon camaraderie within the Mournival would begin to fray. First Captain Abaddon and Loken would clash over ideals and service of their Primarch, and how far their role as advisors was beginning to morph into puppetry and complacency. As their next course of action, the Sons of Horus would lay siege to rebel forces of the Imperium on the moon of Davin, a battle which would lead to the War Master being wounded by the corrupted planetary governor, Eugen Temba. In a battle fought hubristic and impossible for a mortal being to commit, Temba would wound Horus with the blade known as Kinnabrak, stolen by Erebus from the Interrex species armory. This chaos-infused blade would seep toxins of the foul warp creature Nurgle into the War Master's body, slowly corrupting him. The Mournival would then convene to discuss the fate of how they might save their Primarch. And it is here that the Mournival would fracture. Erebus, the deceiving snake, would advise taking the War Master to a temple of healers known as the Serpent's Lodge, using unclean, arcane methods to bring the Emperor's chosen son back from the grip of death. Loken and Torgadan would oppose this course of action, decrying it rightly so as an act of heresy and a violation of the governing principles of the Emperor's great Imperium. However, Abaddon and Aximand would supersede their doubts and take Horus to be healed. With Horus now recovered and set on a path of infamy, Loken would become gradually more estranged for his legion, comrades and Primarch. With Chaos holding Horus firmly in their grip, the War Master would then enact the motions for the betrayal of the Imperium itself, beginning with the Istvan system of planets. Setting a trap for his detractors, Horus would condemn the loyal men of the soon-to-be traitorous legions to fight their enemies on the surface of Istvan III. For as Loken, Torgadan, and a contingent of the Sons of Horus, amongst their Astartes brethren of the Emperor's Children, World Eaters and Death Guard waged war, Horus would destroy them from orbit. Laying waste to the planet with virus bombs, the legions would suffer catastrophic casualties before being further decimated by igniting the putrefaction with cleansing fire. 8 billion beings would lose their lives that day. But for Horus, it was not enough. The traitor legions descended upon Istvan III, facing the battered and bruised loyalists now led by Garviel Loken and the now renamed Lunar Wolves. The fighting was fierce. Astartes killed Astartes. Blood of brothers soaked the scorched earth of this alien world. Even Angron, Primarch of the World Eaters, would lay waste in melee combat by taking to the field against the staunch defenders of the Imperium. The Loyalists would survive for 2 months. 2 months before the end. Abaddon, first captain of the Sons of Horus, travelled to the surface of Istvan III alongside his Mournival brother, Aximand. Loken fought Abaddon, fiercely and with honour, but to no avail. Abaddon would gravely injure Loken, and before their withdrawal, Loken would watch Aximand kill his mentor and brother, Torgadon, in single combat. Broken, alone, and with the resistance of Astartes dying all around him, Garviel Loken prepared for death. Loken couldn't move his legs. Every heartbeat was agony in his lungs as the muscles of his chest ground against splinters of his bone. He coughed up clots of blood with every breath, and he was sure that each one would be his last, as the will to live seeped from his body. Through a crack in the rubble pinning him to the ground, Loken could see the dark grey sky. He saw streaks of fire dropping through the clouds and closed his eyes as he realized that they were the first salvos of an orbital bombardment. Death was raining down in the Coral City for the second time. The first orange blooms of the fire burst over the city. The ground shook. Buildings collapsed in waves of fire, and the streets boiled with flame once more. Hard spikes of pain buffeted him. Then, darkness fell at last, and Loken felt nothing else. And this is the record of Garviel Loken, staunch defender of humanity who died on an accursed world, alone, betrayed, and with only the hope that another sworn brother might carry the flame of redemption. However, like many tales as fate would have it, a new hero may rise in his place, or even a hero may transform into something else entirely. This has been a tale of the great Imperium of Man, read by the Remembrancer. Take heart for my next transmission, where we recount more of the heroes of the Horus Heresy.